Hey friends, I read this morning and it really moved me. It's from Sholom Zatzal's book on the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus. And so I'm going to read it to you. It's like story time. You know which kind of people I love so much? People who believe that someday the world can change. You know who are the greatest enemies of God and of humanity? Those who refuse to believe that things can change. You know, friends, if you or I were to believe that the world couldn't change, then what would we be doing here in this world? Would we even belong in it? The truth is that even the worst person in the world at the right moment can change. Vayishma Yitro, and Yisro heard. What did Yisro hear? Yisro heard about the miracle of the Red Sea and how Amalek attacked us after crossing it. In a nutshell, Yisro knew that the miracle of the Red Sea was an act of God. But why didn't he come running immediately afterwards? Because he thought to himself, I've been an idol worshiper all my life, and I'm an old man now. In reality, what are the chances of me really changing? But then in the Torah it says, and Yisro heard, meaning that he really heard. He heard that if water can change into dry land, then certainly I, as a human being, created in God's image, can also change. When it was clear to the water that it had to change into dry land? When it became clear to the water that if it did not change, 3 million people would die. And so, my friends, if and when it becomes clear to us that the whole world can be destroyed if we don't change, won't we also change right away? Then what are we waiting for? Yisro also heard about Amalek and how they tried to destroy us after we crossed the Red Sea. Why did they attack us? Because Amalek is the voice that says the world can never change. At this point, Yisro thought to himself, Gewalt, now I have no choice but to change. If I don't change now, I too will be an Amalekite. And I won't let that happen. Like Yisro, who heard the messages of change, we need to ask ourselves, what kind of changes do I need to make? If the walls came down in Berlin, I need to ask myself, what about my walls? What can I do to destroy the walls in my own life that are preventing me from being what I'm truly meant to be in this world? Do you know what the most divine thing in this world is? To forgive is divine. We all know it because it's true. But not to give up is even more divine. Not to give up on God is not so hard. We all trust and believe in God. Maybe not everyone. That's my addendum. But to not give up on people and on the world, given the way life can sometimes treat us, and not to give up on ourselves, that is really hard. But it's the most divine thing a person can do. You see, life is the deepest blessing. But the problem is that most people have never tasted it. Not even for a second. Surely we don't have the vessels to mamish to actually taste it all the time. But if we can truly live, even for a second, it keeps us going for a very long time. The important thing is to store and safeguard that 1 second and never lose it. Because when the time comes when we were sad and we have nothing to keep us happy, all of a sudden we have to think, I'm beginning to remember the moment when I was truly alive. That alone is the best medicine against sadness. Life is so strong that if I just remember it, it comes to me again. And I am reborn because life is eternity.